Welcome to my channel, and this is English Podcast.
Today I have a very special guest. This is my fiance, William.
Hello, everyone.
Will has never been on this channel before.
No.
So it's an honour.
It's been long overdue.
It has. So I've seen that many of you have requested a video on daily routines. So I thought it would be a good idea for us to have a conversation and tell you about our daily routines, and then I'll pick out some vocabulary to show you. So this is a fantastic listening lesson, pronunciation lesson, because you can see how we pronounce specific words. Don't forget to switch on subtitles if you need them. And to make this even better, I've created a PDF sheet for you, which contains all of the key vocabulary. All you have to do to download that is click on the link in the description box and sign up to my mailing list. It will be sent directly to your inbox. Also, don't forget to share your own daily routine in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what time you wake up, what you eat for breakfast, what you have for lunch, what you have for dinner, and also what time you go to bed. So first, I think we should introduce ourselves, because although we are getting married, we live quite different lives, don't we?
Couldn't be more different, really.
Yeah, so we live in the same house, but we have very different jobs. I am an English teacher, but I work on YouTube.
And I am a farmer, and I work mainly outdoors on the farm.
Yes, so quite the unique pair, I think. My first question for you is, what time do you usually wake up?
Usually I would wake up at 5:30 to 6 o'clock.
Yes, but what time do you get up?
But I get up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so there's an important difference between wake up and get up. When your eyes open in the morning, you wake up. But when you leave your bed in the morning, you get up. And Will has a big problem. This gap between waking up and getting up is getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
I've gone from setting one alarm to 3 alarms.
3 alarms, and I have to lay next to him hearing each alarm. So I have a very different job. I wake up at 5:30, at 5:45, at 6 o'clock with Will, but I keep on sleeping, and I get up at 7:30, but something very important happens between that time frame, I think.
I feed the pets and I bring up a couple of coffees.
Yes, so very important in the morning. When Will gets up before he goes to work, he brings me a coffee in bed and we try to have a coffee together. It's a nice routine to have, I think.
Yeah, it's a good start to the day.
Yeah, but it's interesting because Will's job isn't the same all year round. In summer, you're really, really busy. I mean, what time do you wake up in the summer?
4:30 normally.
Really, really early. So in the UK, we have very long days in the summer and very short days in the winter. If you're from Norway, Sweden, or anywhere more up north, you'll think, what are you complaining about? But I remember when I was teaching English in Spain, people were surprised that the sun would rise at 4:30 in the morning in summer and then set at 10 at night. But then in the winter, the sun doesn't come up till 9 o'clock, and then it can set at 3:30. So it's a big difference. So your days in summer are so much longer.
Yeah.
So let's move on to having breakfast. I normally have breakfast at around 8 o'clock. When do you have yours?
Either 7:30 before I go out to work again, or at 10 o'clock.
Ah, yes, because you go out and come back in for a break.
Yes.
Yeah, and what do you usually have?
Normally I would eat a bowl of cereal, or I'd have a plate of toast.
Toast, yes. Or on a special occasion, bacon sandwiches.
Very special.
Bacon sandwiches on special occasions. Or what about a full English breakfast?
Only on weekends.
Yeah, so this is a really famous breakfast in the UK, the full English, where you have eggs, sausages, bacon.
Black pudding.
Black pudding? What's black pudding? I don't think some of my students will like it.
You don't need to know then.
It's sausage made out of blood.
Yeah.
Black pudding, hash brown.
Hash browns.
It's like fried potato, baked beans.
French toast.
Yeah, toast fried in oil. And we often have a cooked tomato and cooked mushrooms as well. So it's a huge breakfast, very high fat, and we normally have it if we have drunk alcohol the night before.
Yes.
So it's something you'd have if you are hungover. You can have a hangover or you can be hungover. This is important. They need to know it. Because I think they see the English breakfast sometimes and think that that's what we eat every morning, and that's not true.
No.
You have to be really hungry for an English breakfast.
We don't.
No, we don't eat it every morning. I would say maybe 5 times a year.
Yeah, not a lot.
5 times a year if we go to a hotel, full English. Sometimes we compress it down to a flinglish. Can I have a flinglish? So for my breakfast, I nearly always have it at around 8 o'clock, and I normally have porridge. So that's oats and milk cooked with some fruit like banana, nectarines or plums at the moment, and in summer I use blueberries and bananas. Delicious. So the next thing that I do after breakfast is I do some exercise. In American English, it's more common to say I work out, and we do say this, but it's not as commonly used in British English. I do a workout, yes, but I work out, I mean, would you think it's more American?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So I either go to the gym and do an exercise class, or I stay on the farm and I go for a run. If you do exercise, what do you do?
I do a lot of walking all day, so 80% of my day will be walking. We have a Fitbit that tracks every step we take, every move we make, and that tracks our steps every day.
Yeah, and we have a competition, so you can see all the steps that our friends and family have done, and if Will remembers to wear his Fitbit, he always wins. It's so annoying. I run 10 kilometres and I still don't beat Will, because you just spend all day walking.
Yeah. So all day, nearly every day, I will be lifting bags, shoveling grain, just a lot of physical work, really.
Yeah. So you said shoveling.
Yes.
So that's
shoveling.
to use a shovel or a spade. It's the verb of using that. I think that's a good one. And grain is basically seeds like wheat, barley, oats, anything like that. That's what Will grows on his farm. So Will also does some work in a little gym that we have set up, we have put in place downstairs, and I see you do lots of
bicep curls,
squats. I do some squats at the gym sometimes.
Yes.
And bench presses as well.
Bench press.
Those are the 3 that I really see you do.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else?
What else? Press ups.
Press ups when you're down, going like that.
And some chin ups.
Oh yes, when you pull your body up like that.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed my demonstration of that. I won't be starting a fitness channel. One thing that takes a lot of time for me is doing my makeup and doing my hair. Oh, it's a long process.
I'm exactly the same. Exactly the same. Why else do you think I get up at 4:30 in the morning?
You've got to look good for those fields. I also spend a long time writing scripts and doing a lot of researching. Because I'm always learning as well. So I have an idea for an English lesson in my head, and then I'll spend a full day researching and writing the scripts for the next day's filming. So on a Monday, I'll do the research and the writing. On a Tuesday, I'll do the filming. On a Wednesday, we'll get all the editing done. And then on the Thursdays and Fridays, I'll do more admin work. So looking at my accounts, the finances, replying to emails, sending emails. It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
It's a full-time job. Will has a very specific lunchtime. What time is it?
1:00.
1 o'clock is lunchtime. It has to be lunchtime because that's when Will's dad has lunch as well, and you work with your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at 1 o'clock every day we come in and we have lunch, and we both have different lunches, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah, we hardly ever eat the same thing.
Yes, I normally have a sandwich.
In the winter, I always have soup. I love having something warm for lunch because I'm quite a cold person. I get cold very easily. And in the summer, I nearly always have salad. But not boring salad. I like to make interesting salads with different seeds. I like to use butternut squash.
Yeah.
Yep, so that's similar to pumpkin. Some cheese, like feta cheese or mozzarella. And I try to include a bit of protein like chicken or fish as well. In the UK, we tend to have a light lunch and a heavy dinner. I know this is different in some countries and cultures. I remember when I lived in Spain, we would have a big lunch and then a lighter dinner. And this was really hard for me, especially as the dinner time was so late. Whereas in England, we eat dinner quite early. But before we talk about dinner, what do we do in the afternoons? Well, I know one thing that I often do is I walk the dog. I love taking our dog Diego on a long walk across all the fields, and I think he loves that too.
Yes, he does.
He loves it. Okay, let's talk about dinner time. Here, we normally have dinner at around 6 o'clock, although sometimes in the summer we'll have it later, maximum 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, latest.
Yeah, latest 8 o'clock. And what do we typically have for dinner?
Our meals are quite varied. We normally eat fish twice a week.
Yes, so one of my favourite dishes is to cook salmon with lemon, asparagus and potatoes. We have that every single week, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And then we have other fish like tuna, sea bass,
Sea bream.
haddock,
Sometimes, yeah.
bassa as well. I love bassa. We do eat a lot of fish, 2 or 3 times a week. One of Will's favourites is steak, so I do that every now and again. We do it on the barbecue.
Yep.
And we also like doing chicken and salads, inspired by the Italians. We do a lot of prawn linguine with lemon and sun-dried tomatoes. That's delicious. And then on a Sunday, we often have a very traditional British meal, the Sunday roast. Sometimes I make it myself, and sometimes we go, well, more often we go to the pub.
I think more often we
Definitely.
go to the pub.
Definitely. I love going out on a Sunday afternoon for a Sunday roast.
A Sunday roast is made up of one meat.
Yeah, so typically turkey, chicken, lamb, pork or beef.
Yes. One side of potatoes.
Roast potatoes. So roast potatoes are very special. You peel them, you boil them, then you cover them in fat, like an oil or sometimes duck fat or goose fat, and then you put them in the oven and cook them until they're golden and crispy. They are so good.
They are delicious.
They're amazing. And every British person thinks that their parents, their mums or their grandmas, Sunday roast potatoes are the best.
And then Vegetables, you have 2 to 3 or more.
Could be more. Your
different-
mum does 4 different vegetables.
She loves it.
She does such a good roast.
Okay, let's say 4 different types of vegetables will be on your plate as well. That would be broccoli, cabbage, peas, beans, carrots. Parsnips, yes.
That's the one vegetable that I will eat it. There's nothing I won't eat. But parsnips, I would not choose to have them. They're too sweet for me. Often with chicken or with turkey, because they're birds, they have stuffing, which is kind of... What is stuffing?
Stuffing's made up of chopped nuts,
Onion,
flour, and some herbs, and they're all blended together and made into like a ball.
Yeah,
Really?
and it's quite doughy, it's quite heavy. And then we also have Yorkshire puddings, which is like a big... It's like a big fluffy pancake almost. The mixture is the same as pancake mixture, but it's very light and airy. It starts off with this size and it grows and grows. And if I have one, I always give it to Will because it's just too much food for me.
And Will accepts.
He does. And then the best bit is the gravy, which is a meat sauce made from the juices of the meat. And you pour that all over and it's absolutely delicious. Let's move on to the end of the day. What about baths or showers? Because I prefer a bath, but if I have to wash my hair, then I'll have a shower. And I normally have it in the morning so that my hair can be clean for the rest of the day. When do you have yours?
So every night before I go to bed, about 9:30 to 10 o'clock, I have a shower.
Yeah, just before bed.
I never have a bath. I can't fit in baths.
So Will is 6'6" or 1.98 meters tall, nearly 2 meters. So baths are often not an option. What time do you normally go to bed?
I normally go to bed between 10 and 10:30.
Yes, so we go to bed quite early, but obviously it's because we wake up quite early as well. Will wakes up very early. But after Will wakes up in the morning, I find it hard to go back to sleep, so I also go to bed between 10 and 10:30.
What time do you wake up every day?
Around 6:30.
That's early. Do you set an alarm?
Yes, I always use my phone alarm.
And after waking up, what's the first thing you do?
I check my phone for a few minutes.
For messages or social media?
Mostly messages, but sometimes social media too.
Interesting. After that, do you head straight to the bathroom?
Yes, I brush my teeth and wash my face.
Do you also shower in the morning?
Yes, it helps me feel fresh and awake.
That's a good habit. What do you do next?
I have breakfast.
What's your usual breakfast?
I usually eat toast with jam and drink tea.
Do you always have tea, or do you sometimes switch to coffee?
I prefer tea. Coffee feels too strong for me in the morning.
I see. Do you eat quickly, or do you take your time?
I eat slowly so I can enjoy it.
And after breakfast, do you relax or start getting ready for school?
I get ready for school right away.
Do you prepare your bag in the morning or the night before?
The night before, so I don't forget anything.
After you get your bag ready, what's the next thing you do?
I put on my school uniform and make sure everything looks neat.
Do you iron your uniform yourself?
No, my mom usually helps with that the night before.
That's helpful. Do you have time to relax before leaving for school?
Sometimes, if I'm early, I'll sit for a bit or check my phone again.
Do you ever watch TV in the morning?
No, there's not enough time for that.
How do you usually get to school?
I take the bus.
Is it far from your house?
Not too far, but it takes about 20 minutes.
Do you meet your friends on the bus?
Yes, a few of them. We usually sit together.
Do you chat with them, or do you prefer to listen to music?
We chat, but if they're quiet, I listen to music.
What kind of music do you listen to in the morning?
Something calm like soft pop or instrumental.
When you reach school, what's the first thing you do?
I go to my classroom and greet my friends.
Do you study before class starts?
Sometimes, if there's homework I need to finish or a test to review for.
And what about during breaks? What do you usually do?
I eat a snack and chat with my friends.
What kind of snacks do you like?
Usually fruit or biscuits.
After school, do you go straight home?
Yes, most of the time.
Do you take the bus home as well?
Yes, it's the same routine as the morning.
And when you get home, what's the first thing you do?
I change out of my uniform and have a snack.
Do you do your homework right after that?
Not immediately. I relax for a bit first.
What do you do to relax?
I watch TV or play on my phone.
Do you prefer to finish your homework before dinner or after?
Before dinner, so I don't have to worry about it later.
That's a good habit. And after dinner, do you study more?
Not really. I usually spend time with my family or read a book.
What time do you usually go to bed?
Around 10:30.
Do you sleep easily, or do you stay awake thinking about things?
I usually fall asleep quickly, especially if it's been a busy day.
That's good. Getting enough sleep is so important for learning.